Continuing with the Pennsylvania law's categories of abuse, Category 4 is sexual abuse or exploitation. The legal definition of sexual abuse or exploitation is detailed and complex, but it's important to be aware that there does not have to be direct physical contact for a situation to be classified as sexual abuse or exploitation.
You know, we define sexual abuse as activities that adults or older children have younger children participate in that they really don't understand, they can't really give an informed consent to because they don't really understand, that really violate our societal norms. But they may not include physical violence against the child. You know, child sexual abuse is not really like adult rape. It's not a physically violent assault. It is an emotionally horrible manipulation and coercion of a child that may or may not even involve touching the child, and in many cases does not involve injuring the child. And for some children, they may have been sexually abused and they may not even recognize that initially as a violation of them. There may just be some fondling. There may just be some exposing of children to sexual materials they shouldn't be exposed to. So there are lots of things that perpetrators do that don't physically injure a child.
Some of the signs for a child, especially in the child care setting, would be inappropriate knowledge of sexual activity for the child's age. It might be redness or some type of physical sign that the child is being molested. Most of the time for sexual abuse, it's a disclosure by the child. For whatever language that they might have, it's a disclosure. Because the fact is, most pedophiles, most perpetrators of sexual abuse do their very best to not leave any type of physical signs. So most children who are sexually abused actually have no physical signs of being abused. So it really is either the disclosure or that age-inappropriate sexual knowledge.
The fifth category of abuse is reasonable likelihood of bodily injury. If a perpetrator, through any act or failure to act, creates a reasonable likelihood of bodily injury to a child, this must be reported to Childline. An example is a father throwing a heavy object at a child, and the child escapes injury by ducking. Another example is unreasonable restraining or confining a child. Category 6 is creating a likelihood of sexual abuse or exploitation. If a perpetrator, through any act or failure to act, creates a likelihood of sexual abuse or exploitation to a child, this must be reported to Childline. An example of this category is a mother who knows her boyfriend is a registered sex offender, and yet she allows him to have unsupervised contact with her children.